Now, I remember when I saw movies like Machete and Expendables, especially the first two Expendables, and I kept thinking to myself, like, I'm sure the movie makers knew what they were giving us. They knew what they were going for as they were showing us what they did on screen. Many of the things that they showed to us, we all knew didn't make much sense. It pushed the boundaries of reality, but they knew that we knew that, and they did it regardless, and it worked. For this movie, I'm not quite sure that that's the same thing that they were going for. Yeah, so Banana Island Ghost is a comedy or an action comedy movie. It stars Chioma Chigul Omeruah, Patrick Diabuah, Bimbo Manuel, and a host of other Nollywood actors and actresses. It tells a story about a guy who dies in a motor accident, gets a visit from God, and he has 3 days to fulfill his dying mother's wish for him to get a soulmate here on earth before he dies. Now, God, played by Bimbo Manuel, pairs him up with Ijoma, played by Chigul, who has some issues of her own. She's a loose cannon who also has 3 days to raise 18 million naira to pay off some debt to the bank, or else she loses her house in Banana Island, or her father's house that was entrusted to her before he died in Banana Island. Now, firstly, I have to say this movie looks really good. Yeah, I have to say the aerial shots of this movie are very good to see. They have some really exciting cinematography, and which does not include the Lekki Okoye Bridge. Thankfully, because if you watch any of my videos in the past, I have this issue with them always showing the Ikoyi Lekki Bridge. But here, even though it's kind of filmed the same way, but just for the fact that they show us other interesting landmarks in Lagos, just gives it this refreshing feel about it. Secondly, the visual effects, which for me is the biggest positive thing about this movie. And I'm telling you, aside even what we saw in the trailer, that fight scene in the casino-esque kind of area, there are some scenes in this movie that would make you go, holy shit, holy shit. Holy shit, that was freaking awesome. Chioma Omeruah as well. For me, she is the standout in this movie. I'll just use one word to describe her: witty. She is very, very witty. She owns her character in this movie. Even though I have to be honest, I was a bit confused or concerned with the way she was always transitioning from being this girl from a good home to the she girl character that we know her to be. But still, she had great chemistry with Patrick Diabuah. Just imagine Melissa McCarthy had a Nigerian accent.
Do something new in my life. Something billionish in my life.
That would be Chigul in this movie. And it came off really well. I've never seen her in a movie before. And it was really good to see her do the things that she did. Now to the other stuff, the things that I did not really like. Bear with me. Now, the premise of this movie is not the problem. Yeah, we've had stories like this before in Hollywood where we have a ghost walking in around us. But aside from Chigul's character, which is Ijoma, to be honest, I felt nothing at all for the principal characters in some of the principal characters in this movie. The ghost in question, we know nothing about him. We don't know where he's coming from, where he's going to, what he wants to be in life. We don't even know why he's chosen to have this 3 days of grace before coming to heaven, as he does in this movie. I just felt like if they had made him an arrogant, self-centered, pompous guy who now dies, and God now gives him 3 days to do something good for somebody, do a selfless act for somebody, he would have a chance to avoid going to hell and coming into heaven. The whole idea of finding a soulmate and going through all what he did, all for the soulmate to now go to heaven with you. Yeah, it's a good thing that you want to go to heaven. But what if it's not the person's time? What if the person is not ready? And I felt like if they had just changed that story up a little bit, I felt it would have been more acceptable in my opinion. I also, like I said, the visual effects are really good. It's the best thing in this movie, to be honest. But I just felt like there was a bit of it felt like they were trying to put style over substance. This movie is filmed with a lot of bravado. There's a lot of swagger in the movie, but when you compare it to the storyline, it just felt a bit incoherent, less believable, and that's why I said something about. That's why I referenced movies like Machete and the Expendable movies, because those movies knew what they were going for, and I wasn't really sure that that was the same thing that they were going for with this movie. The ghost in question betrays the actual premise of what we know these ghost stories to be. He's eating, he's dressing, he's hitting people. And yeah, you want to say, okay, we don't need to be following Hollywood in their own templates. But I just felt like, hey, if we're going to do something groundbreaking, I thought it had to be something that would be a bit relatable, a bit believable, and something that watching it would gel very well with the story and the effects and all that they were giving us in the movie. The soundtrack for this movie is really on point, I have to say. But in the end, it's a good movie, but the storyline didn't really gel. The storyline wasn't really believable. It doesn't strike you as something that the movie makers will say, hey, yes, we know what we are doing, we know where this is going, but we're going to do it anyways. And that's why describing this movie, I'll just describe it the same way 50 described Vivica when he was like,
when I was Vivica, I thought I was on to something. But then the next week, nah, man, it was nothing.
Like I said, bear with me. And I will give Banana Island Ghost a 2.5. It's in my opinion. I think visually, yes, I can say this movie is by far one of the best movies I've seen visually. But for me, it's about the story, and the story didn't just gel at all for me. So, you that you have seen it, what did you think about it? I still feel people should go see it. At least let us be happy, let us celebrate the visual and sound effects that we have achieved in this movie. Whatever your thoughts, comment below, let us know. Stay blessed, and please do something good for a neighbor today.